What's going on? It's Timmésha, Fireside Chats for Global Women. Thank you for being here whenever you're going to be watching this. Excuse the sweat, honey. Listen, your girl just came back from running, and I'm going to be going to Pilates in about an hour and a half. So I wanted to come on really live, and I'm coming as is because your girl got a good workout in, okay? I just readopted running back my into my health practices. So I'm a little sweaty. Ignore that, okay? Sweat is sexy. Sweating is sexy. But anyway, this is Fireside Chats for Global Women because turning pain into power is sexy. As we're talking about sweating being sexy. And I'm not really feeling this lighting, but we're here for the message, not anything else. I hope all of you are well, that you are activating not only who you are, but what you are. You're activating your superpowers. You're activating your DNA coded power, all of which you have been born onto this planet to do. All of it. So we don't have to come back and do this shit again. I like to say, so we do not have to come back and do this shit again. It is exhausting, isn't it? Oh, this planet is so much work. Being here is so much work. Being in these human bodies are so much work. But we are here to do what we've come to do. Let's get it done. Let's get her done. Anyway, this is going to be a quick message, a channeled message. It came to me some time ago, and I didn't do a video on it. It's in the book. Of course, I break it down in the book quite a bit. But I have found that there has been such a misconception or confusion about what feminine energy is. Now, I know I think I've done a video, I did a video, I don't know, a few months ago, beginning of the year, about the confusion about feminine power, feminine energy, and what it is. And how I was having a conversation with a young man who thought feminine energy or feminine power had to do with women only. He thought it had to do with women who no longer wanted men around. And I was just blown away and shocked and so taken aback that there are still minds that exist like that on this planet. There are still people who actually believe that feminine power automatically erases, or the idea of it even being in existence, erases the existence of masculinity. One cannot exist without the other, people. We're talking about the yin and the yang here. So this message is feminine energy versus being female. Feminine energy versus being female. Now, if you notice the thumbnail, you'll see that I wrote, don't let unenlightened societies confuse the meaning of feminine energy and being female. I believe that's the thumbnail. Don't let unenlightened societies confuse the meaning of feminine energy with being female. This is such a common across the board misconception, and we know why. We can blame it on the idea of patriarchy. We can blame it on miseducation. You know, it is so much more deeper than what we have dug into thus far. Now, I've dug into this idea in Activate. If you haven't gotten your copy, listen, there's only one copy left on Amazon. So if you are going to order on Amazon, go ahead and grab that last copy. If it's meant for you, then it's meant for you. If not, you can wait until Amazon reloads and then order again. I do have a few more copies in my possession. So if you decide you do want to order, excuse me for that noise. If you decide you do want to order the copies that I have in my possession, let me know. You can order it on my website, TimméshaBurgess.com, or you can wait for them to reload on Amazon again. But I do break the information down in Activate, Unorthodox philosophies that explore anxiety, depression, and suicidal thoughts as symptoms of suppressed superpower. It's all been channeled in the book. So if you feel called or guided to get your copy, go ahead and do that. Again, sorry about the noise. We are live and stuff happens. So please ignore that. So anyway, feminine energy being confused with being female. It saddens me a little bit that, and this, we can go on and on, we can dive down a rabbit hole with this information. But feminine energy is in the name. Energy. Everything is energy. We're all made up of what I call the yin and the yang, or what we know as the yin and the yang. I didn't coin that myself. We're all made up of testosterone and estrogen, okay? We can all think about it from that perspective. If you're ever confused, just think about it from that perspective. Feminine energy is in the name. It is energy that exists in us all. So just the way that we think about the idea of Father God, we can also bring in the ideology of Mother Goddess, okay? Now, looking around, that motorcycle just took me out of channeling. Give me 1 second. That really just took me out of channeling. So many distractions sometimes when you're trying to deliver a message that's meant to be delivered and the distractions come up. So it's important that we really clarify this. It's important that those of us who know the difference between feminine energy and being female really dive into this topic and really talk about it. Because some would argue to say, and I'm not here to argue, I'm not here to debate. That's not what I'm here to do. I'm here to speak, teach, and write about what I have been called to do, or undo for that matter. So if there's anybody that disagrees with what I share, that's for you to deal with. This isn't a platform where we debate. This isn't a platform where we argue. This is where we come to exchange information. This is where we come to share our activated and enlightened sources of information that is downloaded and uploaded in us. So we're not here for anything else. You want to go and debate and argue, you can do that somewhere else. We don't do that here at Fireside Chats for Global Women. This is, when I say because turning pain into power is sexy, we are here to talk about those. I am here to talk about those unorthodox and taboo things that usually aren't discussed on this level, not on this level. So when people see me talk about feminine energy or feminine power, there's this automatic intimidation. There is this, feminine power, a woman in her power, a woman talking about superpower and activating superpower. That must mean she's against men. That must mean, da 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 da. When you hear that type of rhetoric, you must already know that anyone who is thinking or saying that isn't just misinformed, but live in fear of not of others, but of themselves. If you hear anybody talking that kind of rhetoric, anything that is feminine power, feminine energy driven, means that you no longer like men, or don't want men around or on the planet. It's all the signs of a person who refuses and has not done the work on themselves and has not journeyed on the odyssey through themselves. When people have that type of conversation, you already know who they not only are, but who they are not, okay? People give themselves away all the time. If you really want to know or understand feminine energy, you go on that inner quest to unlock the feminine energy within yourself. I think since the 90s, there's been this misinformation, because again, when we think of feminine, we think female. We can think of major events in our world where, our women were burning bras and, fighting for the right to vote and all of this. And so you saw this uprising that most people thought was against men, but no, it was against this idea of toxic masculinity, or what people call patriarchy. But to me, patriarchy can also exist in a female. If you decide to embody an energy that seeks to usurp power from anyone else, whether you're male or female, then you're toxic, whatever you want to call yourself, right? So we'll just leave that at that. So let's go back to the point. Feminine energy is an energy that exists in both male and female. It exists in the flora and fauna of life. It exists in the trees. It exists in the wind. It exists in all animal and plant life. I said flora and fauna. It exists in everything because it is an infinite part of existence. It's an infinite part of everything. And so when I created our community and started putting out my first campaign, which is, you guys already know, the merchandise, which is Fear, Feminine Power is a Mental Disorder, the first campaign. People see this. I've been stopped on the street asking me where I got it, where I got my crop top. I'll tell them about the campaign and they go online and they'll order it right then and there because it speaks to them in different ways. Fear of Feminine Power, being a mental disorder, speaks to different people in different ways based on their walks in life, based on things they've seen, felt, experienced. And so when people read that, whatever they have gone through, whatever they've experienced or witnessed, is reignited in them. Something is reignited, something is activated that reminds them that there is an infinite power that exists that we have been ignoring, vilifying, suppressing, demonizing for lifetimes, and especially in our men, right? Oh, you acting all feminine. No, feminine is not a mannerism, okay? We really have to, I'm going to say have to, it's time for this conversation. Feminine energy has nothing to do with mannerism, not at all. Feminine energy is an embodiment. It is a infinite source or life that arouses itself in the physical body, that allows us, when we embody it, when we allow it to be awakened and activated in us, it allows us to create. It allows us to innovate. It allows us to heal and to help heal others. It allows us to ignite or activate our empathic abilities. It activates our clairvoyance, our clairsentience, our clairaudience, our psychic abilities, our spiritual abilities, whatever whatever those are, feminine energy awakens all of these qualities. Okay, so this energy that exists in us all not only has been lying dormant in women, but has also been lying dormant in men, because men are taught to push this energy down and have been taught that if this energy awakens itself in you, then that means you are female. That means you identify with being female. Feminine energy is categorically different than being female. It has nothing to do with being female. Okay, it's the yin to the yang, but it has nothing to do with being the physical embodiment of what we understand female to be. So what we understand female to be in the physical embodiment or the physical anatomy is a woman that's born with the uterus. Okay, yes. So on my journey, I was born female, but I did not or had not yet come into activating or igniting feminine energy in myself. So for the longest time, I was just female. Okay? For the longest time, many women are born just as female, having not yet tapped into or awakened or activated feminine energy. And for our men, definitely the case. Do not feel, do not have emotions, which has nothing to do with being female, but is feminine energy. Okay, there's been a misconception of equating having emotions with being female. We are talking about pure energy here. Pure energy that is so infinite that it can embody, animate our physical bodies and do its work through our feminine bodies, through our physical bodies, okay? Think of feminine energy as what some religious institution would call the Holy Spirit, okay? Or Christ consciousness. It is an energy that, if we allow it to rise in us, has the ability to heal worlds, to build worlds, to unify worlds, to build empires. It is all energy. So if we want to talk about this more, let me know. If you want to dive deeper into this, let me know. If you want me to read excerpts from Activate the book to dive deeper into this, let me know. I'd love to do that. I want to hear more from you all. Right now, I've been coming on here once a week, but I'm gauging out the audience here. If you all want me to dive deeper, let me know. And, you know, when I'm talking like this is me just talking to the camera. I can't see who's in here. So if you are a subscriber here on Fireside Chats for Global Women, let me know you're here. Comment, like, share, email me. Let me know you're here. Let me know the types of conversations you want to have. And when I'm talking like this, it's very, you know, it's kind of formal. It's kind of like, but when I have your energy in here with me, we can really dive deep and get real, you know, just dive deep and get dirty. Want to get dirty. It's about time that we get dirty. Okay. You know, when you have conversation, you can dive deep because you're able to piggyback off of one another. So let me know, put it in the comments or email me at timmeshaburgess@gmail.com. Let me know the kind of conversations you want to have here on Fireside Chats for Global Women. Okay, this is feminine energy versus being female. All right, see you all later. Fireside Chats for Global Women, because turning pain into power is sexy. Let me get ready to go to Pilates. I'll see y'all later. Ciao for now.